Hey, friend. Oh! Where did my face go? Where did my face go? This is gonna be something a little different. We're gonna do something a little different today. So, I'm not gonna do anything Mortal Kombat related, and it's not gonna be anything Living Dead Doll related. So, today I've decided I'm gonna do a story time. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, you know, everybody does those. Well, there's nothing wrong with joining a bandwagon, right? I mean, my life isn't entirely dramatic, but there was a lot of things that happened, especially in high school. So, my first kiss. Well, I don't want to say that I was robbed of my first kiss, but yeah, I was robbed of my first kiss. So, when it happened, I was about 15 or 16. I think I was 16, and no, I was 15. No, 16. Anyway, 15 or 16. And it was with somebody who was a friend of mine, and for privacy reasons, I will not be sharing their name. Because I went to the mall with that friend because they asked me to tag along to go get something from the game shop. And I was like, sure, I'll go along. You know, the mall's not that far from my house. It wasn't that far from school. It was like halfway in the middle between my school and my house. So I went, and after we did what we were supposed to do, which was go to the game shop, then we went outside at the back of the mall, and there was like this empty parking lot, and there was like a bunch of like cinder blocks and stuff. I guess they were doing construction at that time. So we just sat there and we were just chilling, you know, we were just vibing. And to be honest, I'm not even sure how this happened, but like one thing led to another, because we were just talking, but then one thing led to another, and then they ended up kissing me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it was very strange because I always like fantasized about my first kiss when I was younger. And because of that fantasy I used to have when I was younger, like, oh my god, first kiss, so romantic, you know? In my head, I was like, okay, well, you know, I kissed this person. I guess that means we're probably gonna be dating now. That was not the case, unfortunately, for me anyway, because you know, later on I realized how bad this actually was. So after that, I don't even know what to call this because we didn't start dating. But what happened was the person, oh, by the way, they were a year older than me. They were my senior by 1 year. So don't worry, it wasn't anything illegal. Okay, they were a minor as well. Relax. So what happened was, like, during school, they would text me up and be like, hey, let's go for a walk around the hallways, just say you're gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, so I would ask to use the bathroom, and I would meet up with them, and I think I would tell them, like, which room I was in, like, my classroom, and then they would, like, I would meet them outside, and then we would just, like, walk around for a bit. But the thing was, like, while we were walking around, they would often stop me in the hallway, because we were just talking and walking around, and some, like, one or two times they would stop me, and, like, push me up against the lockers, and, like, smooch me, and I'm like, what are we doing? Because we weren't even dating, and, like, I was so confused, because I'm like, I figured, like, you know, kiss equals relationship, but that wasn't happening. I was, like, super confused. I didn't know what to think. I just went along with it because I didn't know what else to do. But then something else happened, and it was extremely confusing, like, even more than it already was. It was already super confusing, but now I was just like, what the hell is going on? So we were texting one time, and I was like, okay, you know, like, we've been snogging quite a lot. Like, does this mean we're dating now? Like, because I don't mind. You know, you're a cool person. But, like, are we dating or what's going on? And then they responded, I'm not really looking for a relationship, you know, but they also started implying that they wanted to sleep with me. And when I picked up on that, I was like, scusi? This was like a very, very mind-boggling thing for me back in the day. Because like it was already a big enough deal that I kissed somebody, and then the fact that we're not even dating. You know, that was a big deal for me. But then it was the fact that we're not dating and they wanted to sleep with me. And I'm just like, this is not something I do. You know, like sleeping with somebody when I'm not even dating them, that's not something that I do, you know? Like, I haven't even slept with people that I've already dated before. If you are somebody that just kind of like wants to like, you know, have some fun, you know, and like without the commitment, you know, by all means you do you. But me, I'm not that kind of person. Like, if I'm going to like give myself to somebody, I want them to be like with me, you know? And that's why I'm a virgin at 21. And I'm proud of that. They kept implying that they wanted to sleep with me despite the fact that we weren't even in a relationship. But then it was like adding insult to injury with the fact that they didn't want to use protection if we ended up sleeping together. And I'm like, okay, now you're just going the extra mile. Okay, I'm not going to have unprotected sexy times with somebody I'm not even dating. I wasn't using birth control at the time. I use it now. I actually still need to get a refill. I use it now, not for like sex, but I use it for like my period, right? So I was just like, what the hell, you want to sleep with me, but you don't want to use a condom? And like, they were so adamant about not using protection, and I was like, okay. It was already kind of odd enough that you want to sleep with me, we're not dating, but now you want to sleep with me without a rubber? No. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening? Why do they want to sleep with me and not use anything so that I don't end up pregnant at 15? Long story short, I ended that little thing between us because I was like, listen, I'm not going to sleep with somebody, especially unprotected, and we're not even dating. Like, that's just not something that I do. I have like this thing where like, if I know I'm going to be with someone and I'm going to be with them for life, then that's when I will give myself to that person. Like, I've dated a few people already, and despite the fact that most of them were online anyway, I did have one physical relationship in high school, but even then, we never did anything. I'm just the type of person where I don't want to just do it with anybody. You know, I want to do it with one person only. And that's exactly how I feel with my current boyfriend. Like, because I know that him and I are going to be together for quite a long time. You know, we talk about like getting married in the future and having kids. Like, that's somebody that I definitely want to give myself to, and I most certainly will give myself to. And he's probably watching this and like kind of like being embarrassed that I admitted to the world that I'm totally going to smash him when I get the chance. So as it turns out, that person had already slept with someone before there was like a thing between us. And they had told me that they slept unprotected with that person too. And I'm like, and that nothing happened. And I'm like, okay, but that has nothing to do with me. You know, just because you slept with somebody unprotected and nothing happened doesn't mean that's going to happen with me. You know? So I thought, I went with my better judgment, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this. We're going to have to stop. And we did. And I haven't spoken to that person in a long time, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm really hoping that they don't end up watching this. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not like I revealed any names or anything. So that was this strange story of my first kiss. It was definitely not what I expected. I definitely feel kind of robbed. I know that's kind of rude to say, but I definitely feel robbed. I kind of wish it was somebody that like wanted something serious with me instead of just wanting to get in my pants. And they never did anyway, so that's a win for me and a big L for them. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed. And if you didn't, that's okay. I won't blame you. It's not the most scandalous kind of story of a first kiss. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Please be safe out there, okay? Don't forget this. Don't forget it. And I will be seeing you next time. Mwah.